Capricorn, it's June 2021. I'm Didici, and mostly people work for money. I'm sure you've been accused of that being the Earth sign, Capricorn. They say you're acquisitive and you're more interested in the money than anything else. I don't think that's altogether true, but I did want to speak about this huge cluster of planets here in the sixth house, which has to do with one's quality of service, the quality of the work that we do. And that's very, very important this month. Both your ruling planet, Saturn, and Mercury are retrograde this month. Saturn in this second house of finance, Mercury, Sun, and Venus, which moves on the third, are in the sixth house, which has to do with the quality of your work. Pardon me, have a drink. Mercury shows us the way you think about the work that you're doing. And the sixth house, being a house of service, shows that the higher the quality of service, the better the quality of the work that you do. That is the basis for good income, good reputation, fame and success. So I just wanted to join those dots there to show you what may be uppermost in your mind and what you may be reevaluating right now as a result of these planets in this sixth house. Now, you notice the moon swinging around here, and on the 10th, the new moon here, very close to this retrograde Mercury, tells us that that could be the trigger, where the penny drops, where you really are able to associate the thinking processes, that's Mercury, the working patterns, which is the sixth house, and the new moon, which is a complete turnaround, a complete shift in the way that you've done things. Now, it's not just about work and money, because the sixth house has to do with your health, your vitality, sickness, debts. And so all of those areas are covered by what I've just been saying here about the retrograde Mercury. And that retrograde Mercury continues in its apparent retrograde motion, reverse motion, up until 22nd, 23rd, where it becomes stationary. Notice also Mars moves to your 8th house of shared resources. This can be a very frustrating time. Mars is not a friendly planet to you. It is really a bitter enemy of Saturn. It rules the house of profits for you, the house of friendships. And coming from this 8th house, especially there after the 15th, it's going to make that opposition aspect in due course to Saturn, your ruler. That can be a very devitalizing sort of energy. It can really cause you to want to push forward in your work, to really earn as much as you can, even if you're putting in the quality of service. But there's an obstruction there. You're not able to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And I dare say that's going to continue while Mars is edging its way into a closer and closer opposition to Saturn. Generally, these two planets also result in warlike activities. That combination of planets, when it's what we call a hard aspect, can really damage you. So you have to be careful with the way you're spending money. By the same token, Saturn in the second house can indicate a sluggish sort of approach to income, being too slow off the mark, missing opportunities. Knowing here, when Mars is opposite, that you should push forward with something, but this procrastinating element holding you back from that. Notice there's a full moon also around this 25th, 26th. That's going to impact your relationships very strongly, because the moon is the ruler of your personal relationships. And therefore, when the moon is full, this could be a rather emotional time when you, especially there, you see the newly full moon moving into the conjunction of Saturn again in this second house, where you may be opposed to your partner on the same sort of matters. Venus moves to the 8th house. This is the shared resources. Mars and Saturn influencing your shared resources. The full moon influencing your partnerships. So all of these things in the latter part of the month, the last few days of the month, point to the fact that money and relationships are tied in. But at the end of the day, this new moon and also the retrograde and then forward motion of Mercury, which you see here, it's forward by the end of the month, it moves forward around the 24th, is going to bring you into a new attitude, if I could call it that, a new attitude towards the way you earn money, the way you deal with people commercially and in business generally. I'm going to transcribe all of this so you can go over to the site, astrology.com.au, take a look at what we have there. We've also got the chronological outline of the aspects day by day for you, so you can see how that fits in with what I've just said here. We've got a lot of free readings there. We've got consultations with me. If you wish, I invite you to consider that. And by all means, drop me a line. But most importantly, subscribe. And even more importantly than that, I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.